We predicted three different scenarios yesterday, a neutral one and a bearish one, and let's see how we did. Welcome back to the price detector. Thanks again for joining. This is Joseph. Peace be upon you all. We've got a very exciting announcement for you guys in the next few weeks. We're going to be offering a pilot free trial access to our PD levels across different charts. We will initially be including Bitcoin, Solana, Bittensor, TAO, Caspa, and Cubic. Other charts are in the work as we speak. Today we're having a look at Bitcoin, since it's the king of crypto and it's what moves the market. That's beautiful. As you can see, we are dead on into our neutral or consolidating scenario, and as you see, Bitcoin is rather having a hard time to overcome the 63,340 mark. Bitcoin has been consolidating against the 63,340 and the 62,700 mark. We can go both ways, but it seems that we have very strong support between the 62,700 mark and the 62,151 mark. So very strong support in this area. Most likelihood, depending on what the major markets do, we might go ahead and challenge the 64,000 mark. We have very minimal PD resistance above the 63,340 up until the 64,645 and the 65,500 mark. That's how we look from a Bitcoin perspective. Now let's do our predictions for tomorrow, and let's move. All right, so looking forward to tomorrow. These are our three different price prediction: a bullish zone between the 64,100 mark and the 65,900 mark, a neutral or consolidating zone between the 61,900 mark and the 63,700 mark, and a bearish zone for Bitcoin for tomorrow between the 60,100 mark and the 61,740 mark. Keep an eye on these areas. Have a look at how beautiful our levels are bounding price between them. Keep an eye on our announcement on the channel and across our different social media platforms on how to get access to our revolutionary PD levels. In the beginning, in the pilot, it will be limited to a couple of currencies, but more and more cryptos are being developed as we speak. Now we can go ahead and have a look at where we stand from Bittensor's perspective, and dead on, just as we predicted, within the bullish zone, a dead center of the bullish zone that we predicted since yesterday. We've been around this point in time. We predicted three different price movements: a bullish movement, a neutral consolidating movement, and a bearish zone. Successfully, TAO is now bounded within its bullish zone. Just to update you guys, here's how I did on our last PD trade. I've bought, as I've shown you in my yesterday's video, my average buy price was around the 587 mark, and I've sold around the 637.7 mark for a profit of 8.6%, and that was in around 3 days. And in dollar terms, that's around a $580 to $590 of profit with a $6,000 position. So I'm doing a strategy of trying to accumulate TAO. In TAO terms, that's a 0.8 TAO profit, which I managed to accumulate in the latest trade. Before we do our price prediction for tomorrow, I just wanted to showcase how beautifully price is respecting our PD levels. You see, if price could not overcome a certain PD level, it goes to the one below. Once there are enough buyers, only then it can overcome a certain PD level, and if it closes above a certain PD level, it's most likely to go to the next above, as you can see. And how beautiful, look at this candle here. We expected, according to this PD analysis, that price was, once it broke above this level of around 586, it was most likely going to challenge the 618 mark, and that's what it did. Once it broke and reached the 618 mark, it tried. There were a number of PD levels between the 618 mark and the 649 mark. Once we inched our ways above the 649, and that's where we are now, where we are trying to challenge the 667.8 mark. And look how strong the current resistance is. Price has been trying since more than 10 hours ago to challenge and overcome the 667.8 mark, but there are many sellers that are trying to push price down. And since it's a line with greater weight and it's a thicker line, that shows that this PD line has immense strength to it, at least in relative terms, when compared to these set of PD levels. Once we overcome the 667.8 mark, then we are most likely going to try and challenge the 692.63. We have a psychological level of around the 700 mark, but from a structural perspective, we don't have any PD levels indicated at the 700 mark, but still it's a psychological level that we need to overcome. Once we overcome that level, we're looking at prices trying to challenge the 726.3 mark. Now let's have a look a support perspective. We have relatively strong support between the 649 and the 618 mark. If we somehow broke down all of these support levels, we're looking at price to head back to the 586 mark. We have decent support, not very strong, but we have a collection of PD levels between the 586 and the 548 mark. If we somehow again break down all of these support levels, we're looking for price to head down to the 524.9, where we have decent support and PD support of stronger weight between the 524.9 and the 498.6 mark. Under that, there is minimal support down to the 450 mark and minimal support until around the 400 or the 390 mark. This is how we're looking from a support perspective. Now let's try and predict Bittensor's price for the next 24 hours. Let's see from a bearish case where price can go down to. Let's move the cursor to identify where we are at this point in time. So again, to summarize, this is what we're looking at for the next 24 hours price predictions. We're looking at a bearish case between the 567.5 and the 610 mark, a consolidating neutral case between the 618 and the 666.18 level, and a bullish case between 672 and the 733 level. Let's see how we do with our price predictions tomorrow, and let me identify for you and mark for you if you're wishing to enter and try and trade Bittensor, where you could input your buy orders. Again, guys, it's as easy as putting price just above PD support. And if you want to be sure, and just as an attempt to capture as much price as possible, what you can do is you can put in levels in between. So right here, just above PD support, here where you can come and try and buy in. All these green lines are where you could mark in your buy orders for Bittensor, and it's good practice to put in buy orders as low as 25 to 30% below current price, because you know how exponential crypto is and how suddenly prices move. From a selling perspective, what you could do is the exact opposite, guys. You could come in, and let me put that in maybe orange, and put in your sell orders just below your PD resistance lines. And it's good. Another good practice is to put in your sell orders below a collection of PD resistance. This collection identifies strength of that resistance line. And the reason I'm calling this a PD resistance is that price is still below that line. Once price overcomes or breaks through a certain line, then only then we can call that line a PD support. For now, it's a PD resistance. So these are, if I zoom out for you, these are the different short to medium term buy and sell levels highlighted in green for you. You could capture the screen, do a screenshot, and then add these levels as potential buys and sells for you to easily navigate the market. That's how easy we do it for you. And for the price detector and subscribers and followers, we hack crypto trading for you guys and present it to you in a silver platter. So go ahead and screenshot this with all the different PD levels and the potential buy orders. Follow us for more. Give us a like if you see any of our content helpful and insightful. Keep an eye on the announcement of accessing the PD levels soon for our followers. We've got a very exciting announcement for you guys in the next few weeks. We're going to be offering a pilot free trial access to our PD levels across different charts. We will initially be including Bitcoin, Solana, Bittensor, TAO, Caspa, and Cubic. Other charts are in the work as we speak. If you found any information in the video helpful and beneficial, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye again on the free trial announcement. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, X, Twitter, and Telegram. This was Joseph from the Press Detector. We'll see you again.